Good morning and welcome back again to the Old Rope Salvage Workshop. This week it's all about getting the cab and the chassis completely prepped up, ready for the cab to be reunited with the chassis. You might remember at the end of our last episode, Tim was finishing up all the polishing on the cab. That went pretty well. There's still a little bit to do, but it's gone okay. This week, the first thing that's going to happen is he is going to be doing all the carpeting inside the cab. And hopefully, if that goes well, because we're a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, but a little bit nervous. If that goes well, we're then going to be fitting all the pieces back into the cab, like the steering column and the gear sticks and all the other gubbins. And if that goes well, we're then going to move on to the chassis and hopefully get the engine prepped up and ready to get it all started up and sort of done. That's really exciting. Okay, so if you're new around here, we are Lisa and Tim, and we are currently armpit deep in the restoration of our 1975 Bedford fire truck, which we're using as the base vehicle for our one day to be rolling home on wheels and truck camper extraordinaire. There's a lot happening and happening fast in the workshop right now, so buckle up because there's a lot to cram in and a lot to show you in this episode. Beginning with the bigger than he might have anticipated job of getting the carpet fitted to the inside of the cab. After a lot of deliberation, we have been thinking about this for a while now, we decided to use the pretty standard and simple option of a 4-way stretch carpet in black. Practicality was the most important thing here, as the interior is getting discoed up in various other ways, and we haven't even gotten onto the seat covers and door cards yet. Now, because we are absolute skinflints, we ordered exactly the right amount of carpet that we needed to complete the job. No more, no less. So not much room for error. And with all the complicated shapes and angles inside the cab, Tim divided the interior up into sections and, starting with the parcel shelf, started working from the top down, using paper templates to cut out the carpet into the exact shapes needed.
The carpeting is going quite well. I've just fitted the one on the driver's side, and I think this is probably one of the most complicated bits I've got to do because the seat mount goes between it. So what I did for that was I made a paper template, laid it all down, put some tape together, squished it, made it so it's the right shape, and then used that to cut out the carpet. Unfortunately, both sides, this side and the passenger side, are a mirror image of each other, so I only had to make one template for both sides. But this extra bit of time and effort certainly makes getting a piece of carpet the right shape a lot easier. Tiny bit short in this corner, but I think it will stretch over. And I'm just going to take a little bit off this bit here to pull this one. So that looks really nice. The carpeting is going really well. It's a massive transformation, completely changes the look of the place. It's quite difficult because the carpet's so black, you can't see what I'm doing in it, it's so dark. I'm down to the last bit now. So yeah, it's just the floor bit here and going up round the front, that's the last piece. I'm hoping that this isn't the most difficult bit, and I've already done the difficult bits, but yeah, one last bit to do. But looking really, really good. Like, it's such a change. Brilliant. It feels so nice as well. It's lovely.
It took Tim around 3 days to complete the carpeting. He had a cold at the time, which may or may not have slowed him down. It wasn't a hugely difficult job, but it was more physically tiring than it looked, or so he kept telling me. The results, however, were pretty transformative, finally turning the metal shell of the cab into something we could actually imagine being comfortable in. Of course, now that the carpet is in, no one's actually allowed in there anymore without first removing their shoes, which might make driving it difficult.
Hey, I think I'm back down. Oh, that is hard work. One big piece. Just stick that down. Whew. Right, job done. Goodness me. That was quite hard work, but the results are pretty good. And that's another job done. Carpet is done.
After fitting the carpet so beautifully, the next thing was the rather counterintuitive job of putting a load of holes in it for all the pedals, cables and other gubbins to fit through. Watch carefully, there may or may not be an accident with this in the near future. We used a soldering iron for this, which worked beautifully at cutting out the lovely neat circles by melting through the carpet and leaving a nice tidy edge. Just don't, drop it, Tim.
Right, yeah, it needs to go straight up the hole, so if it's not going to go up, if it's not going to go up the hole properly, tell me and I'll yank it up, I'll lift it more. Right, let's give it a go. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is marvellous. Do you want to go around the inside and just hold it up? Oh, nice.
Oh my god, that was like
It was so
insanely
easy.
easy.
I
I've
was
been
gonna-
terrified of doing this. I don't know if anyone can remember when we actually took this out. It was so difficult. I can't believe that. I'm so happy right now.
That was way easier than I thought. Did you just go in? Did you go in? I think you did. There you go.
Oh my god.
This feels really weird. We've done all the work, I suppose, and now just assembling it, you got these almost like brand new parts and all replated bolts and fixed things, and it seems to go together really quickly.
Is it just too easy now?
It's just too easy. I hope I'm not going to jinxing it, and now I've got to take it all apart because I've missed something. But even then, you know, because it goes together so easy, it comes apart easy as well. So it's really cool. Just hold that, push down. Oh, right, it's hanging now. Whew. Right. Thank you.
But the other one.
Well, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, that one's very impossible to get to. Right, cool. Lovely job.
What did you just do?
Just burnt a hole in the carpet.
Did you say that again?
Just burnt a hole in the carpet! Soldering iron's really good for cutting out stuff, but don't drop them. So, months and months ago when we welded the floor up, I had to weld in some new captive nuts in the floor just for these two bolts. That is such a long time ago, like. But now they're coming into use. And I had to buy a new pedal. I remember this, when we first took this apart, this was just so black and covered in grime. I didn't even know what it was just scraping it off with a Stanley knife. Now look at it. Beautifully replated. I burned my leg now on the soldering iron. Right, just got to nip these up and then we'll be done. Ooh. We've got a loud pedal.
Oh, what?
Loud pedal. Now, got to put a pin in that, to remember. Although it's not going anywhere without it. So. The go pedal.
It's got a hole in the floor.
I know, there should be a bung for it, but that is long perished.
It's going to be drafty.
Well, I'll have to think of something to replace it, won't I? It's on my list of a million things. I know, that's why I did. I only just cut the carpet out because I left the carpet in there to cut the draft out, and I thought that's a silly idea. Right, so you can see those 4 holes. Right, I'm going to burn the bigger holes in and try not to put a hole in the carpet.
Alright, I
mean,
can't see the holes, so...
yeah, I don't want to burn your fingers.
Alright.
Oh, very good. There he is. Oh, it's terrifying, that is.
Yeah, that's it. I'll do the other one as well.
Yeah,
Where is he?
it's down the bottom. Easy. See it?
Yeah. If you poke the hole through,
Okay.
fine. Oh yeah.
Yeah? Has it gone through?
There you go.
Is it through?
Yeah. Right, put piece 1. Because I want them to see. Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
Can I come out now?
No.
What?
You're going to put the nuts on the back of this.
Oh god.
Right, on that thing I just put through, put the washer on it. And that spring washer.
There's a slight problem.
Yeah.
Well, it won't go round it because it's like too close to the
Right.
thing, so I can't get that round it. Oh, he thinks he can do it anyway.
Why does it look?
Because it's right against the, it's like about 2 millimetres. It's right against
Well, that
the
one
side.
worked.
No, it's right against.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I can see, but it came off, so it wasn't a flat one. How does the nut go on there? Even the nut won't fit. What the? How did it come off? What's going on? We haven't done it upside down, have we? No. How? Work
Oh, well, maybe it went on like that.
at an angle. Will that go on now?
No.
Still not.
No.
Alright, will that one go on?
Sort of. But it's like on a bizarre angle now.
We can make this work. Give me the other washer back. The big one. I don't know why there's 2 washers. I'm going to stick them both on this one. And we can't get a washer in there for sure, can we?
No.
We can.
That one.
We can get that spring washer on. And the nut will go on.
That's weird. Well, it can't have been on it in the first place, the washer.
This doesn't make a lot of sense. But even this doesn't make sense because it's just going to be so. It's just going to be at a funny angle as well. Sorry.
Are you sure that's in the right thing?
I'm never sure of any of this.
What's the top one?
The top one is where the rod goes through. Right, that's where it's going to live now.
Okay.
Oh, is that good enough?
Yeah, well, it doesn't really do anything, does it? So it's like, it's
No.
just for decoration.
It's just for decoration. Right, we'll stick this on. Right, if I stick it through bits of wire, and then we know that's where it lives, and the wire should be corresponding to the. If I pull one out.
I had one of those moments where I thought maybe we'd like put the cab together in completely wrong way, and then I remembered that we didn't actually take the cab apart any more than it's actually apart. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's all been built wrong. I would die. Do I still need to be
No.
You're just
I'm just
you're just keeping me here.
keeping you
for fun.
prisoner. So this is what puts the power takeoff off the engine. The original fire pump water, the original water pump from the fire truck. This is what engaged that, and it's yeah, we're trying to keep all these old bits. It looks cool. Done it.
Well, wow. That was a lot of fuss and effort for something which, in my own words, doesn't really do anything. But although we have transformed this old fire truck into something barely recognisable from its old life, we've always felt that we wanted to retain some of the old bits and pieces which were unique to its history, such as that power takeoff lever. There will be more nods to its past as we get down to the details, but in the meantime there were the gear levers to fit.
Gather round, you good time boys, listen to.
We're putting in everything we can right now before we fit the cab back onto the chassis, simply for the ease of working on it while it's on the floor. But we're leaving the windows and the seats, which still need reupholstering, to keep the weight down for when we're winching it into the air. Something we're excited for, but also a little nervous about, as, well, we don't really want to drop it, do we?
Wow, well, I just can't believe that the cab is ready to go back onto the chassis. It's just like unbelievable. I think Tim did such an amazing job with the carpet. I wasn't around for any of that, as you might have noticed. I was coming and going, you know, giving him moral support. But he seemed to do just fine without me, and yeah, I'm getting all the bits and pieces like back into it that we wanted to get back into it before we put it back onto the chassis as well. And it's just looking amazing, isn't it? I can't really quite get my head around that it's ready. So before we do actually get it put back on the chassis, there are a few things left to do with the engine and getting that all sorted out. Tim has got like this little list on the back of an old cornflakes packet, as he likes to do his lists, and there's a few things on it like sorting out last bits of the radiator and the fuel lines, carburetors, manifolds, and put engine oil back in it and clean the spark plugs. So mostly he is going to do that now, and then we'll be kind of ready, which is surreal.
Creating the engine gasket out of thin air, as Tim put it, was something which had been slowing things down around here for a while now. Funny how it's often the little things which cause so much trouble. And this particular little thing had caused much head scratching and deliberations before this solution was found. The problem was that to begin with there was no gasket, nothing, not even the charred remains of one, and it had been put to us that there was no gasket because, well, there was no gasket. Tim, however, was not convinced by this, so after some research he initially bought some metal gasket mesh suitable, he hoped, for working at high temperature. The problem with that was not having any specialist cutting equipment around here. He couldn't actually cut out the intricate shapes needed. Much pontificating followed until we were gifted some high temperature gasket material from our friend Nick. Tim also bought some high temperature sealant and then proceeded to change his mind a further 42 times. It didn't help that the high temperature gasket material did actually burn when he ran some experiments with a blowtorch. In the end, however, after chatting to a couple more folks, he did indeed use the gasket material gifted by Nick, which you can see him cut into size and fitting here, on the basis that something is better than nothing and that it should work. I was reassured by all that nothing disastrous would come of this, apart from a blowy engine, in which case we could worry about that at a later date. Until then, it's fingers crossed that this doesn't vaporise as perhaps the previous invisible gasket must have done in the past.
That was a little bit of a struggle because these are never really perfectly straight. But we need this bolt here, these two, and that one to be in there, and we'll tighten it down because the ones in the middle, they do both the inlet manifold and the exhaust manifold. So these have to come out, and it was a bit of a struggle pushing it around, but we're there now. There was a bit of an order, and now we've got it, and hopefully the inlet will go on okay. But yeah, we'll just do these up tight and try the inlet. Whew. Oh yeah. Right. The manifolds are on. And my, do they not look pretty. Hopefully there's no blowing in there, and yeah, they've all gone really well. It looks great, and on to the next things really. That's amazing. Cool. It's going to be hard to do when there's a cab on top of it. That's 4 litres. 4 of the 10 we need. Right, we better get some more then. How come you're so much taller than me? You're standing on a block. Thank you very much for watching. I think we're going to call this the end of the video here. We've done practically all the stuff we intended to do for this episode, if you like. The cab is ready to go back on, and the chassis is very, very nearly ready for it to receive it. We just got a couple of little things, but yeah, it's really good, and it's really exciting at the moment. We're getting very close to
engine startup day.
Yeah, which should be in the next episode.
Yeah, we just want to say a big thank you this week to our newest patron. That's Michael Oates. Thanks very much, Michael, for joining us. It is much appreciated. And yeah, we really look forward to seeing you back here for our next video for engine startup day. You are definitely not going to want to miss that. So yeah, until then, bye.
Bye.
It's the wave.
Thanks to all who watched to the end, and special thanks as always to the patrons. Also this week, a big shout out to our friend Michael Matthias. Mike has always been a big supporter of our channel, but he's had a rough time of it lately, and we just wanted to say that we're thinking of you, Michael, and looking forward to catching up with you soon.